tomorrow at Arlington National Cemetery at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. A wreath will be laid at the tomb of the unknown soldier. The annual ceremony honors those who put their country and duty first. Nearly 500,000 Americans serve in the National Guard, with more than 40,000 engaged in missions all around the world. But CBS News has uncovered cases where these service members say they were injured in the line of duty and now face an uphill battle to get health benefits and pay. Senior investigative correspondent, that's Catherine Herridge, has been looking into this. Catherine, good morning to you. This does not sound good.
Good morning, Gayle. According to the most recent data obtained by CBS News, about 30% of injury claims that are recommended by local commanders are determined not to qualify by the Air National Guard, raising questions among some service members about whether correct policies and procedures are being followed.
It's infuriating because you're shouting into the wind and nobody's listening.
Those sentiments sting for Master Sergeant Jim Buckley, whose military family has served for 3 generations.
Has the Air National Guard been like a second family?
I've been with the same folks for the past 13 years and care a lot deeply for them.
After tours in Africa and Iraq, Buckley says he injured his shoulder during his physical fitness test in 2019.
I thought it was just a minor inconvenience. It's going to get better.
But a year later, the shoulder needed surgery, and another physical turned up a sleep disorder, migraines, and hypertension.
Did you have any of these health conditions prior to your military service?
No, never.
Unlike the active component of the military, the Guard requires paperwork to determine the injury happened or was aggravated while serving. Buckley struggled to get his medical issues recognized for benefits, what's called a line of duty determination.
If you don't have the line of duty, it's just like the injury didn't happen. You're on your own. You're taking care of the injury. You're footing the bill.
While his shoulder injury was eventually approved, other medical conditions were not. After Buckley was taken off military orders, he says his family lost his military health insurance and his monthly income of more than $4,000.
It's been a great hardship on us these last couple of years. We're running out credit cards, dipping into savings.
Jeremy Sorensen also served in the Air National Guard as an F-16 and A-10 pilot, and now advocates for injured service members through the nonprofit usjag.org.
Jim Buckley is representative of what we believe to be thousands of service members that are being mistreated.
Buckley's paperwork indicates his Air Guard command in Mississippi backed up his injury claims, but the final call was made by the Air National Guard.
Have you been provided any evidence by the Guard that supports these denials?
No evidence. There's nothing.
On October 26th, Buckley was in a very dark place. At 11:54 p.m., he wrote the Air Force Secretary and National Guard senior leadership.
I am drowning and I'm reaching out for your help. Please do not turn a deaf ear and a blind eye to me.
When I see you read that email, I see the paper shaking.
This is coming from a place of pain in my heart. And secondly, my entire career, you don't question authority.
A National Guard spokeswoman insisted evidence was provided to Buckley to back up the injury denials, adding a review of the medical records and application of accepted medical principles led the Air Reserve Board to conclude these conditions existed prior to service.
The criticism is that cases like this are milking the system.
Right.
Are you milking the system?
No, not in any way. The last thing I ever wanted to do was get injured. I would have stayed in until I was 60.
Would you want your son to go into the Guard?
Years ago, I would have had a much different answer. The furthest thing I could think of is him joining the military.
16-year-old Matthew Buckley would have been the family's 4th generation to serve.
I'm so conflicted in saying that because my grandfather, my father, myself, and I'm very proud of the service and I love the military, but to think that he could be put through the ringer, all it takes is one injury.
CBS News has learned both the Defense Department and Air Force internal watchdogs have opened cases into Buckley's allegations, which include abuse of authority and failing to provide evidence to back up those final determinations, Tony.
Catherine, thank you very much. An eye-opening report there. You would think it would just be a straightforward matter.
Yeah.
You serve the country.
Yes, if you put your life on the line for the country, you wouldn't think you wouldn't have any problems getting whatever you need. It's very sad.
You have to fight for it.
Hopefully somebody's listening who can make the changes with him.
Right about
to
that.
help him.
Catherine, thank you again.